Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a review of WoW, the end of BFA. What I wanted to do in this video is give you my review as a rather new player to this expansion. I came in 8.3 expecting WoW being the top MMORPG that it is, meaning that it has the most players out there playing it. I came with the hope of a great game and good gameplay, and needless to say, I was disappointed. Now, for the record, I have to say I do have fault in this because before going into the game, I never did my research on it. I just thought, hey, it's a game that a lot of people play, so it must be good, right? Well, wrong, because in 8.3 BFA, the most important thing in it are corruptions, right? So corruptions, in case you didn't know, are basically different effects that you put on your gear, which, for example, you have critical strike from all sources by 12% increase, right? So you usually stack 4 or 5 of this and your crit goes up. There are different effects, but in order for you to wear corruption effects, you need to have corruption resistance, and for that you need to upgrade this legendary cloak that they added in 8.3. This is probably the most grinding thing that you will find in the game. Of course, you had to grind essences as well, depending on your class, but mainly only needed like your main essences for the class. These are not the right essences for, like, I use Vision of Perfection, right? So I have it rank 3. And I'm not really a grinder, so most of this I did it over time. It didn't took me that long, just playing the game. But I'm more of a PvPer, so I came to the game thinking, hey, let's do some PvP, let's have fun. Well, you can't. You can't do PvP because you have no gear and you have the stats you have are minimal. What I mean by that is, even in PvE, as if you wanna do, for example, a mythic raid, you would have to have a lot of DPS, right? So in order for that, you need corruptions, and in order to have corruptions, you had to upgrade your cloak to rank 15. So what I did, finally, I upgraded my cloak to rank 15, and to my surprise, I had to upgrade it again after, and you would get corruption, and you can only upgrade it once per week from running visions. And they recently added an NPC that will give you the option to buy the cores needed to upgrade your cloak with Echoes of Nyalota that you get from Mythic Plus and from emissary quests and from assaults. So these are the emissary quests. What I have to say here is that it's a stupid system. It's time gated system because the NPC was not here when the game launched first. So you were unable to progress your corruption for an entire week, and when you did progress it, it would only be like +3. And when you first reach rank 15, you usually have around like maybe 40 corruption or something like that, or 50. I think less than 50, which is not a lot. Like right now I have +95 and it's still low. I'm still thinking of whether or not to buy it with echoes or not. We'll see. But what I wanted to say is that it's the most stupid thing I saw while upgrading the cloak is that from rank 8 to rank 12 for the cloak, you had to do like you needed 4 pages, and from rank 12 to rank 15 you only needed 2 pages. So what is the point in making it harder for the player from rank 8 to rank 12, and then making it easier from rank 12 to 15? It makes no fucking sense. It would have made more sense if it was the other way around, and I would have perfectly agreed on that. But it was just stupid. And when you have rank 8 cloak and you don't have the Titanic research, the last one that helps you with corruption, you literally cannot get more than 2 pages in a vision. Like, you just can't, because you ran out of corruption. So you would have to use 2 runs to get the upgrade for the cloak. And now when you reach rank 15, you only need to run it once per week because you don't get cores anymore. I mean, talk about the grind here, man. Like, and if you don't have your corruption enough, like the corruption resistance, if it's not high enough, you can't do damage. Like, literally, no matter how good you are, your class is not gonna do the necessary damage to be able to, you know, be competitive or do even M15s. People want in M15s for you to be like fucking 80, 90k DPS. That's a bit insane. I mean, 60, 70 is perfectly fine for M15. But it's just such a bad system. I'm not even gonna talk about essences because that's another thing that's stupid. But corruptions, it made the game so unbalanced. Like, you think about it in PvP, you have people, certain classes being able to run the gushing wounds, like rogues and demon hunters. But if you're like a warrior or another class, you have to run versatility, because otherwise you'll just die, and gushing wounds doesn't even work that well apparently with warriors or something else. That's a bit unbalanced. And let's talk about versatility a bit. In PvP, you need a lot of versatility. But certain classes, even with this versatility, die super fast, and that's just stupid, man. I mean, it's so bad. Thank God, at least it helps in PvE as well. So if you're a tank in PvE and you farm your gear, you have a lot of versatility. You want to do some PvP, you're fine. But you know, you still need, if you want to be a DPS, for example, you need another stat, you need another gear, another set of gear, right? So I don't know, man, it's just so fucking bad right now. This is not the gear I think that I'm supposed to have. I have PvE gear. Yeah. Okay. Right. What else is there? Another thing that bothered me was the way you gear up when you reach 120. So what I mean by that is, see, you have these world quests, right? Some of them give you gear. Let's find someone that gives gear. The worst thing they did was scaling. So let's take this one for example, right? This gives me a 420 item level item. Yeah. Well, when you're 120 and you barely have item level, like let's say you have 200 item level, if you go and do these quests that gives you an item or any work quest, they scale the reward to your item level. So it's not 420, it will be item level 200 or 210. But they scale the rewards to your item level, but up to a point. So if now if I'm past 420 item level, they're still gonna give me 420 item level and not higher. The whole quests, which is bullshit. I mean, either you scale it all the way with my item level or you don't. So what you did is making it harder for me to gear up, because if I have 250 item level when I'm level 120 and I do this quest, it gives me a 200, I don't know, 55 or 260 item level. But if I reach 450 item level on my character, you're not gonna give me a 450 item level reward from this. And that's the most stupidest thing I ever heard. Like, you're putting a cap on the item level of the reward quests, but you're scaling it when I have bad gear. That's stupid. Okay? That's the biggest disappointment I have. And another disappointment that I have is Mythic Plus pre-made groups. People want in Mythic Plus pre-made groups to have like a lot, like Rio. Okay, Rio, I understand Rio, but for a plus 10 Mythic, you're telling me you want people with over 2k Rio for a plus 10. You want people to do 70k damage in a plus 10? 70k DPS, sorry, in a plus 10? Are you kidding me? Item level required 460 for a plus 10. That is not the item level required for a plus 10. That is way above it. How can someone who came new to the game and is trying to gear up can maybe your friends, because you know the developers were asked the question, what do they think about pugs? Like the reason in pre-made groups in pugs people leave and you lose the dungeon, and there's no mechanic that can save you. They won't let you bring someone else in. You basically lost your time in a dungeon. If like you died 2 times and people just rage quit, and there's no penalty for it. 1. So there's no penalty for you leaving a dungeon, a Mythic Plus dungeon. 0. You have a penalty for leaving PvP. You have a penalty for leaving the dungeon fighter, but you don't have any penalties for Mythic Plus. Come on, man. And they said, play with your friends. That's what they said. Play with your friends. I don't think you're playing the game, man. Like, if my friend, what am I supposed to do if my friend, maybe he doesn't play at the exact time I log in, and I want to do a Mythic Plus and I want to do a plus 10, and I'm 450 item level, I apply, and the guy says, oh, you know, you're too low. I'm not too low. I am the item level requirement to gear up. A plus 10 gives you 450 item level, man. Like, I need a plus 11 or plus 12 to get higher item level. And if people don't let me queue for plus 11 and 12, how am I supposed to gear up? How am I supposed to gear up when your world quests are capped at 420 item level, but when I'm lower item level, you're lowering the reward to my item level? This is the most stupid shit I've seen. When I'm rank 8 at my corruption cloak rank 8, you require me to get all 4 pages, which means doing all 4 zones in a vision. But when I reach rank 12, you only require 2 pages? What is that, man? What is that? You have corruption. In order to be able to DPS competitively, you need a shit ton of corruption, which is technically time gated. They added an NPC recently to the game. Well, not recently, but like way past 8.3, right? They stood a lot of time before they added it, and people complained. So now they added an NPC that you can use the currency that you need to buy corruptions, right? Echoes of Nyalota, which you literally need to buy corruptions, right? I'm going to show you. So let's go here and That guy has a cool mug, or all of him yellowish. So I have the NPC here, the mother, and you can buy Malefic Course to level up with 2k echoes, but you also need echoes for corruption. So the grind is real, man. Like, the grind is so fucking real. You have a cap for this, because like the Colossal Visions, let's say I'm not rank 15, let's say I'm rank 6, and I don't have any more Colossal Visions, because you only get that from assaults, and the assaults are weekly. And okay, sorry, you also get it from daily visions, right? But what happens when you already did the daily vision, you already did the assault, and you're out of Colossal Visions? Again, time-gated content. You need to wait so that you can get them to upgrade your cloak. And if you don't upgrade your cloak, you don't have the means to progress. You know, the only thing you can do is do plus 11, try and get your item level up in Mythic Plus, get the best gear that you can, like reach plus 15 and get 460 item level, so you can start doing damage, you can start doing raids, PvP. Like PvP, okay, I knew there were like no vendors, PvP, okay, that's whatever. But you're not rewarding me with anything from doing PvP. The only thing that helped me from PvP, the first time that you reach 120 and you do the cap, the conquest cap, you automatically have a 445 item level weapon, which helps you. But if my item level is higher than 445, you're not giving me anything here. You're just giving me gear that it's less than what I have. I have 465 rings. What am I supposed to do with this? Nothing. I do nothing with it. Now people will say, do rated, get 180, I think it's 1.8k or 2k rating for 470 item level rewards. But how are you supposed to get 2k rating when your rewards are 445 item level? You're gonna get shitted on in PvP, man. You're gonna get shitted on. People will come with raid gear and it's just gonna destroy you. Even if you get 460 item level, you still don't have the corruptions that people have in the arena. Again, you're gonna get shitted. You do zero, like the damage you do to them is half of the damage they do to you. Don't even let me start thinking about the people using, you know, Breath of the Dying, Crucible of Flame in PvP, and it does a shit ton of damage, man. Target below 20% health, extra damage 400%. If I remember correctly, it's affected by your versatility. So they just fucking do. Usually I get hit for about 180k Breath of the Dying on me. 180k, 200k is like 40% of my HP with one skill? That's so stupid. So stupid, man. I need specific Azerite traits so I can be competitive. And when I go to the vendor to use Titan Residuum, the pieces that cost 4k are RNG pieces. But if you want to pick your piece you want, you need 20k Titan Residuum. Do you know how much long it takes for you to do 20k Titan Residuum? I think it's like almost 2 months. Like 1 month and a half, I think. For what? For one specific gear? For head, shoulders and chest. But I can just risk it all on RNG gear, on 4k gear from the vendor here, if you guys don't know. There's a vendor in Zaldazar, sorry, which is down here. Like there's a vendor where the transmog vendor is, and you can buy gear with this, with Titan Residuum. So Titan Residuum, you cannot grind this, You obtain it from mythic weekly chests, and that's actually a weekly thing. So 1 week. They say you can grind like scrap Azurite armor. Guess what? You only get Azurite armor in Mythic 0. And you can only do that 1 time per week, I think. I think it's per week, not per day. And even so, it gives you shit. It gives you like 10 as it gives you 10, 15 Azurite Titan Residium currency, and you need 20k so you can buy the piece that you actually want and need. What is this game, man? Like, wow. Another thing, you have free specs, right? But if I'm Beastmaster right now, right? But if I want to play survival in PvP, or let's assume survival was good in PvE, I would need haste. But guess what? You need haste corruptions. I do have some haste corruptions, but some classes, for example, are all full crit. Let's take warrior, for example, right? Warrior has arms and fury. For fury you need full crit. For arms you need full haste. So if I want to play another spec, I need to grind again Echoes of Nyalota to come and buy the corruption I need. So a corruption is like 5k usually. Like the corruptions that I'm talking about are usually 5k. From Masterful 5k. Yeah, okay, this is 3k. Oh, this is the lower Masterful rank. Yeah, usually it's 5k. Look, versatile. Versatile is 5k. Yeah, this is the rank 3 versatile. Most rank 3 crit percentage, haste percentage, mastery percentage. This is usually 5k. A mythic 15 dungeon or 14 dungeon gives you around 200, I don't know, 15, 30 echoes. You'll have to run around, I would say, let's say 20 dungeons, because you also do your emissaries, right? So you do your emissary quest. This gives you, it gives you echoes, but you only have 3 emissaries per day. You get 1 emissary plus per day, so technically you only have 7 emissaries per week, I guess, if it's daily. So I think emissary quests gives me 375, so times 7, that's around 2.7k echoes per week. Let's say it's probably not like that, but then you have to do a shit ton of Mythic Plus. But wait, you want to do Mythic Plus 15. That means that you need gear. You want to do Mythic 15, but you need DPS for it. You need corruptions for it. So yeah, it's a very, very bad system. When the first PvP tournament took place, people were getting one-shotted. When they saw that happened in the tournament, they nerfed it. Even though there were proof out there before that it was unbalanced, they did nothing. Now let's talk about Shadowlands. In Shadowlands you have the Covenants. It's a very interesting system. But I'm going to tell you what will be the grind there. The grind will not be the Covenant XP, because that's weekly capped. Again, gated content. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the conduits. The conduits are what matters, because the conduits change your damage, gives you more damage. So they said you they drop from all content, I guarantee you that you will have a higher percentage that conduits will drop from Mythic Plus than from PvP. I guarantee you that you'll get higher ranks in Mythic Plus than in PvP. I hope that it's not gonna be totally RNG, like maybe they will add like a vendor and currency that if you play a lot, you'll be able to buy some conduits. And I don't mean rank 1, I mean even rank 15, because that's what you want. You want your conduits around rank 12. In BFA, if you wanted to start an alt character, you had to do all the grind all over again. The only thing you had to do to fix that was make the currencies account wide so that your alt characters had access to what you have on your main. It wasn't so hard, man. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about okay. So when it comes to essences, they added an NPC that you would be able to buy the rank free essences for your alt characters. But guess what? The currency needed to do that was Echoes of Nyalota. I mean, you could have put it a different currency, man. Like, Jesus. Anyway, I hope that they will do a better job in Shadowlands. I hope the conduits are not gonna be totally RNG, because imagine grinding Mythic 15s, like maybe 10-20 dungeons, and you have only rank 5 conduits dropped. That would be the worst scenario that they can do. The worst, really. I haven't really checked a lot of information on Shadowlands, because a lot of people are speculating right now what's better, what class is better. Dude, until the game comes out, it doesn't matter. You're making a video based on a beta. Like, they can change anything between now and the launch. So everything you're saying now is pointless, useless. You're making people think something is good when it's not gonna be. Literally pointless. Stop doing reviews that give no information. Like, just be real about it. You know, a lot of these reviews that people do in WoW, about WoW, half of them can't say bad shit because, you know, they're getting paid by Blizzard because they're content creators and they have a Twitch and they probably are partners with Blizzard and they get perks. So they can't come and tell you all the shit that's in the game. They can't. So I'm gonna be the one that's gonna tell you the shit that's going on. And I can't wait for Shadowlands to come out and test stuff. So far it doesn't look so bad, even with the legendaries. The only thing I hope is that they don't, in the next patches after the launch, they won't allow you to wear more than one legendary, because if they are going to do that, it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be really bad. One legendary, that's cool. But imagine what characters will start to be able to do if you're gonna wear 2 or 3 legendaries and have like all those boosted skills. So like all of those skills fucking doing insane amount of damage. Like, oh god. Let's hope for a better expansion. Vandal out.